if I told you that right now, right beneath your feet, Newcastle upon Tyne is quietly transforming street by street, brick by brick. Welcome back to your fortnightly Newcastle construction and restoration update, where we visit all the usual spots, uncover what's changed and track the progress shaping the future of the city. Also this week, I have a quick update on the Discovery Museum restoration project, so stay tuned for that at the end of the video. Today we're starting as usual at Castle Leazes, where the new students' accommodation for Newcastle University is really beginning to take shape. Straight away you can see the sheer amount of progress that has taken place over the past fortnight. Every time we come back to this site, there's something new to see. The amount of concrete and steel now rising across the site is amazing, and it gives us a real sense of just how large this development is going to be once completed. From above, the layout is becoming much clearer, with key structural elements now visible across different parts of the site. Over towards the back of the site, we get a great view of the core lift shafts that we first started to see rising in the last update. One of those core lift shafts now looks complete, while the other is very nearly there. As we pan back across the site, you can also see the first signs of more core lift shafts getting ready to go up. These are important structural elements, and they really help mark out the scale and shape of the buildings that will eventually stand here. It's at this stage of the construction where the site starts to change very quickly, and this update really shows that. Looking further around the site, there are plenty of building materials now staged and ready to go. Over in the very back corner, you can see a large amount of piping that has been delivered to site. This looks like to be connected with the utility works, which is a major part of preparing the development for the next stages of construction. It might not always be the most eye-catching part of a build, but utilities, drainage and service works are absolutely essential. Moving back round towards the front of the site, one of the biggest changes is the steelwork. A few updates ago, we saw the first sections of the steel starting to go in. Now that steel frame is expanding outwards and moving further around towards the middle of the site. As we fly the drone directly over the top of one of the new cores, we get a really unique look inside. These are the kinds of views you only get at this stage of the construction. Once the cores are enclosed and the buildings continue to rise around them, this perspective simply wouldn't be possible again. That is one of the best things about following a project like this over time. You get to see the hidden stages of construction. So that's the latest from Castle Leazes. A huge amount has changed in just 2 weeks, with major progress on the core lift shafts, more materials arriving on site, utility work taking shape, and the steel frame now expanding. We are now back down at Leazes Park Road to check out the latest progress on the new students' accommodation development. We're starting at the front of the site as usual, and straight away there's a big change. The white fence that had been surrounding the site has now been taken down, giving us a much clearer view of the new building from the street. It makes a huge difference, because instead of peering over or around the barriers, we can now see the shape, scale and finish of the building more clearly. Moving along the front, one of the first areas to look at is the link between the old Georgian building and the new build. This section now looks almost complete. It's been interesting watching this part develop, because it's where the older architecture meets the modern accommodation block. Looking inside the front entrance, you can see plenty of cables going in, along with cable tray up on the ceilings. So while the outside is starting to look much more finished, there's still a lot of internal work taking place behind the scenes. It's a reminder that even when a building looks close to completion from the outside, there's still a huge amount happening inside. Now we're moving round to the back of the site, and the first thing you notice is just how much site clearing has taken place since the crane was taken down in the last video. That's another sign that the project is moving into a different phase, with the major lifting work now finished. Up at the top end, you can see windows have now gone in to some of the gaps that give us a look inside in previous videos. There are still a few areas where bricks need to be added to complete the walls, but overall the building envelope is looking much more finished. In the far corner you can see what looks like the last remaining window frame lying ready to be fitted. Once that goes in, it should close up another one of those final visible gaps in the structure. Looking inside, you can see what appears to be ambient lighting. These little glimpses are always interesting because they give us a clue about what kind of finish the building may have once complete. At the front, the retaining wall that we've been watching getting bricked over in previous updates is now not far being off finished. This has been one of those smaller but noticeable pieces of progress that gradually changed the look of the site over time. There's also work going on in the courtyard area. From what I understand, this is where the basketball court is going to be situated. If that's the case, it should become one of the key outdoor social spaces for students living here. You can also see that the old Georgian house looks just about finished now, with what appears to be the remaining drain pipe still to complete. This is part of the site that has been especially interesting to follow. It brings a different character to the development compared to the new sections. The main entrance around the back is also looking a lot more complete since the last update. Again, this is one of those areas where the project is starting to shift from construction work to final appearance. Now moving around onto Leazes Park Road, and just as predicted in the previous update, most of the scaffolding has now been removed from this side. That has revealed the completed brickwork and gives us one of the best views yet of the finished exterior. So that's the latest update from the Vita Students Development here on Leazes Park Road. We are now taking a closer look at the new Olympian Homes development on Pottery Lane. We're starting up here on the Redgef Bridge, where you get a great view looking down over the site. From this angle, you can really see how much progress has been made since the last update. Starting around the back of the development, all the panels below the windows now appear to have been completed. That gives the rear of the apartment blocks a much more finished look, and it's a clear sign that the external work is moving on quickly. So let's head down onto Pottery Lane and take a closer look from ground level. And here's the major update. The apartment blocks now have a name, Potter's Wharf. The signage is now up, and it confirms these will be 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. So anyone interested in living here can now register their interest through the development website. It's always a big moment when a construction site gets its name. It stops feeling like just another building project and starts becoming part of the area's identity. Looking along the front of the site, you can see stacks of insulation waiting to go in. Some of the insulation looks really thick, which gives us a good indication of the amount of work going into the building's internal fabric and energy performance. At this stage of the project, a lot of the progress can be easy to miss from the outside, but these materials show that there's plenty happening behind the scenes as the apartments move closer to the fit-out stage. Moving along to what I've been calling Block 1, there has been another noticeable change. A lot more of the scaffolding has now come down, almost to ground level, and that has revealed much more of the front of the building. You can clearly see one of the entrances, which gives us a better idea of how the finished development will look from street level. Looking inside, you can see electrical insulation work going on across the ceiling. There's also a lot of prefabricated metalwork staged and ready to be installed for the internal walls. This is where the building starts to change from an empty shell into individual apartments, corridors and shared spaces. Further along at what I've been calling Building 2, more scaffolding has also come down. This is now revealing more of the front facade, and with each update we're getting a better look at the final appearance of the development. Down at the bottom end of the site, groundworks have now started. Work is also continuing on bricking over the retaining wall, although there's still a section towards the back that needs to be completed. The trench carrying the electrical feed is still opening and has not yet been filled in, so that is something to keep an eye on in the next update. And finally, work on the utilities is still ongoing out on the street. This has been a continuing part of the project, and it shows that the wider infrastructure around the development is still being connected and upgraded. So to sum up this update from Pottery Lane, we now know the development is officially called Potter's Wharf. Now we're moving down to Carlisle Square for another update on the Pilgrim Place development. It has only been 2 weeks since our last visit, but already there's been quite a bit of progress, especially around the lower sections of the building. So let's get straight into it and take a closer look. Starting along the bottom of the development and looking through the scaffolding, one of the first things you notice that the first windows have now gone in. It's the same story at the bottom corner as well, where more windows have been installed, even up towards the top section. You can now see glazing beginning to appear, which gives us a much better idea of how the finished building is going to look. Down at the base of the structure, some louvered panels have also been fitted, with more panels staged nearby ready to be installed. These smaller details might not seem as dramatic as the glass going in, but they are a clear sign that the building is starting to move into another phase. Looking underneath the scaffolding, you can now see brickwork starting to rise up the structure. This is one of those more noticeable changes since the last update, and gives the lower part of the building a much more finished appearance. Looking further inside, wooden panels have also been fitted to the stud walls, so while a lot of progress is visible from the outside, there's clearly plenty of work happening internally as well. It is always interesting at this stage of a development because you start to see the building change from a construction frame into something that looks much more closer to a finished structure. Moving around onto the Warwick Street side of the building, the amount of glass that has been fitted is now really starting to build up. The glazing is working its way down towards the lower parts of the structure, and compared with the last visit, this side of the development is looking much more complete. This is probably one of the biggest visual changes on site at the moment. Once the glass starts going in, the whole look of the building changes very quickly. Now moving around to the back of the site, it is much more the same story, with a lot more glass now fitted here as well. From this angle you also get a better look at the difference between the two buildings, and personally I think the glass building is better looking of the two. It has a cleaner and more modern appearance, and the glazing does give it a stronger visual impact. That said, neither of these buildings are really a patch on some of the older buildings around the city, especially the ones in and around Grangertown. Those older buildings have stood for generations, with a level of detail and craftsmanship that is hard to match today, and it does make you wonder, will these new buildings still be standing and admired in the same way decades from now? Somehow, I doubt it. Looking back down towards the bottom of the development, the first windows are now clearly in place, and you can also see that more brickwork has been completed since the last update. This lower section is starting to look much more advanced, with the glass panels, brickwork and windows all progressing. The site is changing quite quickly now. So that's it for the latest update from Carlisle Square and the Pilgrim Place development. What's happening on Northumberland Street right now? If you've walked through Newcastle city centre recently, you'll notice the pavement improvement works are really starting to take shape. We're beginning at the top of Northumberland Street beside Haymarket. As you can see here, much of this area is now complete. The pavement is looking much tidier, and the finished sections give us a good idea of how the rest of the street may look once the improvement works are fully finished. As we continue walking down Northumberland Street, it becomes clear that there are still several areas waiting to be completed. some sections remain fenced off or unfinished. These areas show that the project is still very much ongoing, even though progress is easy to see. As we approach the middle of the street, it's a similar story. There are still a few areas down the centre that need finishing, but the overall layout is starting to become much clearer. You can begin to imagine how the street will feel once all the pavement is complete and the remaining barriers are removed. For a street that sees so much footfall every day, these improvements should make a notable difference to how people move through the area. Continuing towards the bottom of Northumberland Street, there are still quite a few large areas left to complete. These sections are more noticeable and they show that there's still work to be done before the full upgrade is finished. But compared with earlier stages of the project, the street is beginning to look much more put together. Step by step, the new paving, open spaces and seating areas are helping transform the look and feel of Northumberland Street. And now for a quick update on the restoration work at the Discovery Museum. This is a major project expected to be completed by mid to late 2026, with some elements likely to continue into early 2027. At first glance, there might not seem to be a huge amount to see. The building is still being covered in scaffolding, which means much of the work is hidden from view. But that scaffolding tells an important story. It shows that the restoration is moving forward, even if most of the progress is happening behind the scenes. Since our last visit a few updates back, the main difference is clear. The scaffolding now extends across the roof section of the building. That suggests preparations are now in place for the work to be carried out underneath, with access needed to parts of the structure that were not previously covered. The restoration is costing around £3.5 million, which shows the scale of the work being undertaken. So this is not a quick fix, it's a long-term restoration project, and we're likely to see the building slowly change as different stages of the work are completed. And that brings us to the end of this update. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a comment with your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think about the projects we've covered today. And don't forget to give the video a massive thumbs up, because it really helps the channel grow. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing to 55 Degrees North and hit that bell notification for when I release more videos. A massive thank you for watching. I will see you next time, right here on 55 Degrees North.